ever noticed how much of your life is built around the word should? For example, you should be married by now, you should have children, you should be having this kind of career. And the list goes on and on. I'm sure most of you can resonate with this, that we go through life shoulding ourselves into different lifestyles, scenarios, or goals and dreams, when most of the times those goals and dreams, these shoulds that we put on ourselves, are not even desires of our own. Who says that you should be doing all of this? Who decided that a certain timeline of when things should happen is for you? And I've been reflecting on this a lot lately, because especially these days when we can see so much of other people's lives, we have so much access into everyone else's lives and what they're doing, and it can create this kind of expectation for ourselves of what our life should look like. And we see other people achieving different goals that they set for themselves, or different milestones in life. And it's very easy to feel sometimes a little left behind, or feel like we're not reaching the places we're supposed to. And very often, if you really sit and reflect, and you kind of like try on that life that you're thinking looks so glamorous for the other person, when you try that on for yourself, you might realize that's not even what you want for yourself. And the grass is always greenest where we water it. And so it's very easy to look at what other people are doing in their life and think it looks great and glamorous. But if you were in that situation, you might not even like it. And being in that situation that the other person has very often takes other types of work to get to that place that maybe you don't even want, right? You might see this lifestyle or career that someone has, and the steps they took to get there are not ones that you even want to do for yourself. It might be too much, or not anything that you really want to pursue, but the end goal looks very glamorous. And then also, that's not even to say like all the societal expectation or family expectation that one might feel. Perhaps your family is making you feel like there's a certain path you should be taking, and perhaps your siblings or other people in your family are living the life that you think you want for yourself, but you just haven't gotten to that yet. Maybe you're single, or maybe you really want to be a mom or a dad and you haven't had the opportunity yet. And for me, I realize what's really important is realizing first and foremost is that everyone's timeline is different. And that really takes off the pressure, because when you let go of all the shoulds and you realize your life is unfolding exactly as it needs to and as it's supposed to, it kind of takes off that burden of maybe that you're not stepping up to all the things that you should be doing. And if you begin to trust that it's all happening perfectly at the right time, the right moment, and you're not going to miss what's meant for you. And so all these shoulds that you're telling yourself, it's not your time for that. And when it is, and if it is, it will naturally evolve and naturally flow into your life. You don't need to force things to come about. And if it's not the time for something, then it's not the time for something. And you don't want to force something into your life that is not meant to be there, because then there's going to be a constant friction. Whenever there's force, like you trying to force something, a certain outcome or certain thing to happen, and it's not aligned for the moment, you're going to face a lot of friction because it's not for you at the time or at all. And so all of this kind of like, for me, the more I sit with these thoughts and think about it, it just makes it easier to, first of all, be more present to where you are at in life, and be present to the chapter that you're in right now. Right now, you are wherever you're supposed to be. It's perfect. And How about you take a chance to just sniff the roses around you? Enjoy how far you've come, because so many times we don't even notice. We're always on to the next thing. I know for myself, as someone who's a high achiever and I'm always wanting to grow and be my best self, whenever I do reach a goal, I don't really take the time to appreciate how far I've come. Yes, I get excited and proud of myself, but I don't truly celebrate and sit and really tangibly feel into the moment of what it feels like to have arrived, so to speak, to my goal, right? And be so proud and enjoy this moment. It doesn't always have to be about getting to the next thing and the next and the next, because that is the journey of life. The journey of life is we're constantly growing and evolving and becoming better versions of ourselves, hopefully. And we don't need to constantly be chasing the next thing. Just being present to what is now and truly realizing what we've accomplished and how far we've come. And then being mindful and visualizing and working towards what else we want to create, but really reflecting what it is that we want. If you sat quietly for a couple of minutes and took out a pen and paper and wrote down just a short paragraph of what your ideal day would look like, or your dream life, or where you want to be in 5 years, what are you putting down on that paper? Is it what you really thought you wanted? Does that match what you're going to put down on that paper? Or perhaps if you really took some time and reflected, you might want something else, a different kind of lifestyle, a different kind of job, a different location to live in. And I think it's super liberating when we realize, and I just had this moment this morning as I was eating my breakfast, and it's a super simple thought process or mindset, but if you really think about it, it's just so liberating. I was just sitting there eating my breakfast on the couch, slow morning, the weekend. I woke up at whatever time I wanted, not super late, but I got out of bed when I chose to. I made the food that I wanted to. I sat eating on the couch in the location that I wanted to sit and eat my breakfast. And I just had this like giggly feeling of, I get to choose what I want to do with my life. I'm an adult. Nobody's telling me how to live my life or what I need to do. I get to decide. I can literally decide whatever I want and go out and do that thing and live that life. If I want to move to some wild place, like to another country, another state, if I want to go apply for some creative random job, if I want to start my own business, if I want to date this person, or if I want to not date at all, or if I want to, I don't know, maybe go skydiving tomorrow, or go on a hike, go to the beach. I can literally do whatever I want. It's totally in my hands. And I don't know why, like realizing that in the moment just made me feel super just invigorated and empowered, because we sometimes forget. We sometimes fall into this trap of needing permission to live, needing society, our family, or anyone's permission to do something out of the norm, to go out and do something wild, and or maybe not wild. It doesn't have to be wild. It can literally be just doing what you want to do. And we live in this way of like tipping, needing permission, not wanting to look weird or be different or stir up too much. But why? Like, why do we care? Nobody, if you really think about it, everyone is in their head trying to live in their best way, and many of us have this need to put on this persona of being perceived in a certain way by our peers or society, and we're all kind of in our own heads about it, and so no one's really, maybe some people will judge you, but who cares? Who really cares? So this is your invitation to go live your life, to take a moment and really reflect on what it is that you want to do with your life. Forget about everyone else's what people have told you. What do you want? And even in one small area in your life, can you decide today to really choose what you want and not what you've been told to want or what you should yourself to do? What can you do different that is going to give you that sense of liberation and freedom that you're living life on your terms? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear where your journey is going to take you. And it's so fun to be in this mindset because literally anything is possible when you open the door to life and you're just available for anything to come through. Literally anything can happen, and that's really where the magic happens.